Happy Monday, everyone. March 2, 2026. Let's start the show in the NBA as the New York Knicks cool off the red-hot San Antonio Spurs. The Knicks held court and stabbed the Spurs' 11-game winning streak in a dominant fashion, 114-89. After a rocky start, New York unleashed a 26-2 run across the first and second quarters. San Antonio never recovered as the home team owned nearly every department on the box score. Mikal Bridges and Jalen Brunson faced the Knicks with a combined 49 points as Victor Wembanyama had 25 markers, 13 boards, and 4 blocks in a losing effort. The Knicks remain a solid third in the East with 39 wins and 22 losses, while the Spurs are still second in the West with 43 victories and 17 defeats. Here is Wemby summing up San Antonio's disappointing setback.
I think they did put some physicality, but not even the most that we've seen, And for some reason, we were somewhat hesitant. I think it was in general a team thing, and for myself, I was especially hesitant on threes for some reason. I think I was holding the ball a little too much when I shot them. Just need a few more reps. That's it. But hesitant for some reason. Like in that, you can see that in our turnovers as well. I had 7. And lots of dumb live ball turnovers too. We gave them life. We should have been better, especially on that run in the first quarter. I think that was it.
Meantime, the Detroit Pistons get their 6th straight road win at the expense of the Orlando Magic. The Pistons took over midway through the third quarter and held on for the 106-92 dub. Detroit actually missed its first 15 three-point attempts, but made up for it by holding Orlando to a lowly 30.7% field goal shooting for the entire second half. MVP frontrunner Cade Cunningham led the Pistons with 29 points and 11 assists. Tobias Harris and Jalen Duren added 23 and 16 markers respectively. Paolo Banchero tallied 24 points and 11 rebounds, but also had 9 turnovers in a losing cause. The Pistons have now also won 10 of their last 11 games. They continue to rule the East with 45 wins and 14 losses. The Magic are still 7th with a 31 and 28 win-loss slate.
I mean, we defend at a level like many people aren't willing to do. To hold them to 18 point, 17 point, third and fourth quarter, that gives you opportunity to win different. It puts a ton of pressure on your defense, obviously, but you've seen it time and time again. Our guys have the ability to respond to it. I don't know how the hell you're in a basketball game shooting 1 for 18 from 3 and a half. But again, it's a credit to our guys' grit, toughness, ability to get stops, and then understanding who we are, right? They don't panic when it happens. They just continue to do the next right thing. That's who we are. We figure out a way. Our identity is winning in the trenches, trying to create as much chaos as we possibly can, and finding ways to win no matter the situation.
A historic night for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the Oklahoma City Thunder subdue the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, I get this one checked right. The defending champs took the victory 100-87 behind SGA's 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. This is the reigning MVP's 59th consecutive road game with at least 20 points. That is now the longest streak in NBA history, breaking the great Wilt Chamberlain's 63-year-old record. Chet Holmgren also showed out for OKC with 19 markers and 9 boards. The Mavs had several players on the injured list, including rookie sensation Cooper Flagg, who's been sidelined for almost a month now. Dallas also lost Klay Thompson, who left the game after playing 15 minutes of action with an adductor strain. The Thunder remain on top of the West in overall standings with 47 wins and 15 losses, while the Mavs are 12th, in the conference with 21 victories against 39 setbacks.
Good stops, get out and run, get good looks. Above all, just play the right way on both ends. Those are the things that translate, whether the ball's going in or out. You got to have the right intentions, play the right way, and I think we did that tonight.
You always seem to bring the best of yourself, home or road. You set an NBA record tonight, 59 straight games on the road with at least 20 points, breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record. What do you want to bring to a game, to an arena, every time you step on a road court?
Well, they don't get to see me as much as our home fans do, so that's first and foremost. Try to get them experience they never forget, but ultimately I'm just trying to go out there and win, do whatever it takes.
As a playmaker, you got your scoring, but then you seem to get these little flurries from guys throughout the game. You know, Isaiah Joe, Jared McCain, Alex Caruso, so many different guys that can give you these little punches. What does that do for you during the flow of a 48-minute game?
Yeah, it makes the game easy. Teams really have to pick their poison defensively.
It's okay, Carlo. As for the Los Angeles Lakers, they wrapped up a back-to-back set with a convincing win over the Sacramento Kings. The Lake Show treated its home crowd to an impressive 128-104 victory, a strong follow-up to its blowout win over the Golden State Warriors on Sunday. The Lakers with a hot start here. They finished the first period ahead 36-18 and never looked back. Lakers superstar Luka Doncic posted game highs of 28 points and 9 assists without even playing in the final frame. LeBron James had 24 markers, 5 dimes, and 2 steals. The Lakers are trying to overcome a slow start after the All-Star break. They are now 6th in the West with 36 wins and 24 losses. The Kings are at the bottom with 14 victories against 48 defeats. 7 more NBA games for you today.
And let's take a look at the other results. James Harden returns to the lineup and leads the Cleveland Cavaliers past the Brooklyn Nets 106-102. The Chicago Bulls finally halt an 11-game losing slide as they take down the Milwaukee Bucks 120-97. The Minnesota Timberwolves move up the standings following a big 117-108 win over the Denver Nuggets.
Meanwhile, a balanced attack toes the Memphis Grizzlies past the Indiana Pacers 125-106. Onyeka Okongwu with 25 points in the Atlanta Hawks 135-101 blowout of the Portland Trailblazers. Neemias Keita's career night helps the Boston Celtics overcome the Philadelphia 76ers 114-98. And lastly, the Los Angeles Clippers stop a 3-game slide by picking apart the New Orleans Pelicans 113-117. Coming up, a couple of heartbreaks for the Philippines against Australia. A recap of Gilas Pilipinas in the FIBA Asian qualifiers and the Filipinas losing in the AFC Women's Asian Cup next here on Play by Play. And we're back. Thanks for joining us here on Play by Play. FIBA has canceled 4 games in the second window of the World Cup Asian qualifiers amid ongoing tensions in the Middle East. That covers Group C games between Iran and Syria and Iraq versus Jordan, as well as Lebanon versus India and Qatar versus Saudi Arabia in Group D. Those games were initially scheduled for today and tomorrow. FIBA says it's in close contact with the respective countries' national federations to assure the safety and security of teams, officials, and staff involved. The postponed games will take place in the third window in late June. FIBA will announce further schedule adjustments later. Massive U.S. and Israeli strikes aimed at overthrowing the Iranian government took place over the weekend. Iran, in response, launched an unprecedented wave of strikes on American military bases, Israel, and other countries across the Middle East.
Meantime, Gilas Pilipinas ends the second window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers without a win. The Nationals were blown out by Australia 93-66 in front of a sold-out Pinoy crowd at the Mall of Asia Arena. Gilas was actually within striking distance in the first half, with Australia up only by 5 points after the first 20 minutes of action. But the Boomers found their touch in the third quarter and never looked back. Elijah Pepper led the way with 28 points, including 5 triples, while Tanner Krabs also had a great game with 18 markers, including 4 threes. For Gilas, it was Justin Brownlee playing much better than he did against New Zealand, tallying 20 points in the matchup. Despite the loss, though, the Philippines is still through to the second round of the Asian qualifiers as they now carry a 2-2 win-loss record for third in Group A. Australia, on the other end, remains undefeated through 4 games.
It was a very painful one. It was very painful second half, painful to be a part of, painful to watch, especially being in front of our home crowd. You know, we wanted to be better than that. I thought we played a really good. We did everything we wanted defensively. We held guys down, but when they started to stretch the lead a little bit, got some open threes, you know, and a couple turnovers on our part. I think we just kind of deflated and lost our energy. I think we're going to come back with renewed fire and you know, it's back to the drawing board for me a little bit. We're going to have to look a little bit at our offense and maybe try to simplify things a little more.
The Philippine women's football team had their own tough loss to Australia to open their AFC Women's Asian Cup campaign. The Filipinas put up a gallant stand but were shut out 1-0. Chelsea star Sam Kerr scored the lone goal of the match in the 14th minute after converting a header off Caitlin Ford. That was Kerr's first goal for the Matildas since 2023. She was sidelined the past couple of years because of a knee injury. Australia thought it had doubled the lead at the half-hour mark, but the goal was ruled offside. While the Philippines' defense held firm, they had a hard time getting out of their own side of the field. They had just 1 shot all game. The Philippines will try to bounce back on March 5 against another powerhouse in South Korea.
Moving on now to the UAAP as the women's volleyball tournament served up major upsets and statement performances over the weekend. Mobile journalist Denise Valdez-Sancho takes a look at the results with this report.
Can't spell upset without UP. The Fighting Maroons scored a stunner in UAAP women's volleyball by handing the NU Lady Bulldogs their first loss in UAAP season 88. It took the Maroons 5 sets to take down the defending champions, bouncing back from a slow start and saving a total of 9 match points in the 4th and 5th en route to the victory. 16-25, 16-25, 25-22, 31-29, 18-16. Nina Itang led the way with 18 points on 10 attacks, 7 blocks, and 1 service ace. Cassie Dongalio and Jelay Gajero combined for 39 markers.
Kailangan mag-show up eh. Kailangan talaga eh. Kasi atin to eh. This is our season. We are manifesting that this is gonna be our season. So kaya kailangan trabaho, walang titigil. At puso lang talaga.
The Lady Bulldogs did have to finish the games without rookie sensation Sam Cantada. She had to be helped off the court after suffering a right shin injury in the 3rd set. Cantada is set to undergo an MRI to help determine her status moving forward. Both teams are now 3-1 in the standings. Meanwhile, the De La Salle Lady Spikers keep their record unscathed after beating the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Despite dropping a set for the first time this season, La Salle dominated its longtime rival most of the way to take the match in 4 sets, 25-14, 21-25, 25-17, and 25-17. This is the Lady Spikers' 16th straight win over the Blue Eagles. Lila Del Castillo was hailed the player of the game after putting up 18 points built on 7 attacks, 8 blocks, and 3 aces.
Siguro po being proud is an understatement kasi, ewan ko po, hindi po kasi masyadong ma-acknowledge sa mga ginagawa ko Kasi, ang lagi kong iniisip, parang dapat lang ganun yung performance ko. Parang dapat lang ganun yung contribution ko. Kasi part na ako ng core ng team Hindi ako isa sa mga tao na dapat nagpapabuhat pa.
The Lady Spikers are now at 4-0 this season, while the Blue Eagles remain winless at 0-4. As for the FEU Lady Tamaraos, they returned to the win column after rallying past the Adamson Lady Falcons. This match likewise lasted 4 sets, 22-25, 30-28, 25-17, and 25-20. FEU sealed the win with a strong finish in the 4th. With the score tied at 17, the Lady Tams went on an 8-3 run, sparked by key attacks from Lovely Lopez. Fido Bacanque led the charge with 22 points built on 17 attacks and 5 blocks. Both teams are now at 2-2 this season. Lastly, the USD Golden Tigresses defended home court, sweeping the UE Lady Warriors at the USD Quadricentennial Pavilion. The Golden Tigresses dominated from start to finish in the 25-11, 25-14, 25-14 victory. Angge Poyos and Jonna Perdido scored 11 and 10 points respectively. The Golden Tigresses have also improved to 2-2, while the Lady Warriors remain winless through 4 matches.
And coming up, we'll move on over to the men's side as we take a look into the UAAP Season 88 men's volleyball games during the weekend when play-by-play returns here on One News.
Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. Another big weekend for frontrunners in the UAAP Season 88 Men's Volleyball Tournament. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho returns with a look at how contenders are pulling away from the rest of the pack.
The FEU Tamaraos stay perfect in UAAP Season 88. FEU extended its hot start by making quick work of the Adamson Soaring Falcons 25-14, 25-21, 25-21. It was a balanced showing once again for the Tams, with 4 players scoring in double figures. Setter Ariel Cacao steadied the offense with 20 excellent sets. Amit Between had a team-high 13 points. The Tamaraos charged to a 4-0 record this season, while the Falcons fall to 1-3.
Kaya kami lagi naka-focus is, lagi po kasi namin pinag-uusapan yung mga bagay na kaya namin kontrolin at yung mga bagay na hindi namin kayang kontrolin. So mas nagpo-focus kami dun sa mga bagay na kaya namin kontrolin and paano pa namin mas lalong i-improve yung bawat isa sa amin.
Meantime, the NU Bulldogs bounced back from their first loss by sweeping the UP Fighting Maroons 28-26, 25-23, 25-20. Alas mainstays once again took the spotlight for the defending champions. Leor Jales delivered a game-high 20 points, while Buds Badin added 18 markers. The Bulldogs moved to 3 wins against 1 loss, while the Fighting Maroons dropped to 2 victories and 2 defeats. As for the Ateneo Blue Eagles, they survived a 5-set scare against the De La Salle Green Spikers. Ateneo was almost on the wrong end of a reverse sweep, but recovered just in time for the victory, 25-22, 25-18, 20-25, 20-25, and 15-13. Amiel Pasino and Kennedy Batas came through in the clutch. They finished with a combined 34 points. Blue Eagles fly to 2 wins and 2 losses, while the Green Spikers stay winless at 0-4.
Siyempre, medyo nasanay na kami kasi parang last season pa, ilang 5 sets yung nilalaro namin. Pero, ayun nga, palaging inulit, palaging sinasabi ng coaches namin na we need to stay composed, tapang, tsaka ipakita yung winning mentality ng bawat isa sa amin. So, ayun, trabaho namin, ginawa namin yung mga kailangan namin gawin.
Lastly, the USC Golden Spikers continue their strong run in their home courts. USC dispatched the UE Red Warriors in straight sets 25-18, 25-22, and 25-22. The Golden Spikers with a balanced effort here. JJ Macam and Trevor Valera took charge in the second set, while Ryven Katinsag and John Chris Aiko closed the door in the third. Josh Ibanez led the way with a double-double of 13 points and 11 excellent receptions. The Golden Spikers have now won 3 straight games to climb to 3-1 in the standings. The Red Warriors slip to 1-3.
More volleyball updates, this time from the Spikers Turf Open Conference. The Crisscross King Crunchers improved to 3-0 after sweeping the AEP Cab Stars. Final score here, 25-20, 29-27, and 25-15. Reigning MVP Jude Garcia had 16 points on 14 attacks and 2 blocks, while Alchi Gupiteo sustained his fine play with 13 markers and 10 excellent receptions. The Savoj Spin Doctors likewise stayed undefeated after beating the Alpha Insurance Protectors in 4 sets. Final score, 25-20, 20-25, 25-18, and 25-16. Mark Calado delivered 20 points, while Louis Ramirez added 16 markers. Lastly, the 3B Event Masters get on the board after escaping the VNS Griffins in a 5-set thriller. Final score, 25-20, 25-19, 25-27, 21-25, and 15-13. Carl Berdal exploded for a conference-high 29 points. Kenneth Dainata chipped in 20 markers to go along with 15 receptions.
And now we have FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers and NBA action coming your way for tonight's highlights. Check out some of the action that we saw inside the Mall of Asia Arena. Justin Brownlee attracting the defense, creating space for himself, and then at the very last moment, dishing it off to the waiting hands of AJ Edu, the big man, showing that he is a deadly factor for Gilas Pilipinas, not just in this window, but moving forward as he slams it home. AJ Edu finished with 6 points and 6 boards, but it was Justin Brownlee who led the charge for Gilas Pilipinas with 20 points in the losing effort against the Aussie Boomers in that matchup. Later on in the game, we check out one of the highlights coming from the Boomers this time around. Elijah Pepper splits the defense on the top ball screen, first evading the defense of Scotty Thompson and then spinning away from the taller Carl Tamayo. Look at this move once again coming from Elijah Pepper. Just outstanding spin move as there was no chance even from AJ Edu to help out. He already elevated and he was already en route to the hoop for 2 points. An outstanding performance coming from Elijah Pepper throughout that ball game as he finished with 28 points to lead all scorers for Australia and win the game to stay undefeated in the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers. They're qualified on to the next stage alongside New Zealand, alongside the Philippines, coming from Group A. Now it's time to switch over to NBA action as we check out the highlights of this matchup between the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Same old coming from the one-time champions Nikola Jokic setting up Jamal Murray on the handoff, and he victimizes Rudy Gobert, the Stifle Tower himself. Look at this handoff once again. One of the many assists of Nikola Jokic in that ball game. Two-handed throwdown for Jamal Murray. Unfortunately for the Denver Nuggets, they will suffer a loss at home as they bow down to the Minnesota Timberwolves in that match. Coming up next, as much as I hate to do it, we'll have to show you the game between the OKC Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. We see SGA, MVP, just putting it down and slamming it over the head of Max Christie en route to the huge 100-87 victory, as he showed us the athleticism, the hops, and the ability to finish from that side. SGA led the charge for OKC as they remain to be the top team out the West, and he also broke an NBA record once held by Wilt Chamberlain, as he has now scored more than 20 points in a ball game for a road matchup 59 consecutive times. Just another feather in the cap of the incomparable Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Moving on to our highlights, we go to the matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Sacramento Kings. Luka Magic right there for you, like only he can do. I mean, watch that play one more time. Loses his footing, he was bumped even, falling away to his right side. Luka still found a way to hit that impossible three-point shot. But no one's surprised, right? It's Luka. That's Luka Doncic you're talking about as the Los Angeles Lakers continue heating up. They stumbled out of the gates at the start of the season, but things have started to look good for Luka, for LeBron James, and for the rest of the purple and gold. An outstanding effort coming from them as they defeated the Kings 128-104. And that will do it for our highlights for tonight. Back to you, Cheska.
Can we make Carlo do the OKC Mavs highlight again? Thank you, Carlo. Before we go, the next era of greatness is looming within Lakers superstar LeBron James' household, but it won't be in basketball. James quickly shut down the possibility of having yet another hooper in his family after bringing along his 11-year-old daughter Zuri in the Lakers road game against the Warriors over the weekend. The King jokingly explained that this is because his wife Savannah is, quote, done with basketball. After all, their two sons, Ronnie and Bryce, are also competing in the sport. Instead, his daughter will focus on volleyball, where she apparently thrives. Zuri went viral as she was seen practicing her handles courtside during warm-ups. She also hit a few jumpers, including an overhead shot with her back to the rim, before throwing a lob to her dad.
Don't get my wife mad. She's done with it. She's a volleyball player, but she's been around the game for a while, so she do got good handles. She got a good form too. But my wife ain't playing that. Not another one. She says, that's it. That's it.
Well, it runs in the blood. If you're an athlete, you're an athlete.
Savannah's done with it. Ayaw ni Savannah.
Pass na.
Something else, please.
Tapping out from basketball will be the LeBron James household. After the guys, it's volleyball for Savannah and Zuri. And that will do it for tonight, kapatid. Catch us again tomorrow, 9 p.m. for play-by-play of the day's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News, that's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We're also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
Once again, I'm Carlo Pamintuan, sitting in for Andre Felix.
The one and only Carlo Pamintuan, and I'm Cheska Letoncalao. Thank you for watching, mga kapatid, and thank you for joining me here tonight.